012. We must kill Coney today. We've got to kill Coney.
I'm pretty sure Coney's already f***ing dead.
Simongamer987 is my creative inspiration.
Put your banquet on the table.
Grammy Award-winning musician. And a cream of the crop shit poster.
This really was one of those games that brought the family together on the sofa when we were younger.
I'm not saying pregnant women should be forced to do cocaine, but I think it should be an option.
This good old British lad has been in the hearts and minds and heads and wet dreams of many for dozens of years.
But that's enough exposition for this review. On his music side of things, I don't approve of all of his methods and lyrics, but when it works, it works. And oh man, I've been a fan ever since I first discovered him. Simon as an artist always finds the most unique and creative ways to make the most low-effort music, and yet some of the most influential and creative pieces that I've ever heard in my life, at least from my perspective. That all being said is exactly why I want to take some of your time today and discuss one of the first albums from Simongamer987 that I discovered when he was still on Spotify. Circus Tricks. As an extra side note tangent, please, if you have the opportunity, money, and means, please go on the Vaccine Gang bandcamp page and contribute whatever you can to Simon's music. It would mean the world to me, and I'm pretty sure it would mean the world to him. Ever since his Spotify page got taken down for presumably using you on the cover of You're Stinky, he has not really been able to make a comeback in the mainstream music scene, other than Bloodhole being able to come back for some reason. Before we hop into Circus Tricks, let me give you some background information. This album was released in 2020, most of the songs are made in 2020, and the genre of this album, I would say, is a mix between dance music, pop, emo and rap, and some hyper-pop. It's kind of a unique blend that goes all over the place at times, and of course it is meme rap inspired. There are plenty of goofy lyrics, low effort lyrics, etc, etc. It all blends together to one big piece of interestingness. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it and discuss. Artificial acts as a primer for the entire album, and I believe it does this effect insanely well. It starts with a kind of somber piano sample, and then eventually bleeds into Simon Gamer talking about certain frustrations he has with music, and also giving motivational speeches to the listener about being yourself and not listening to what everyone else says. Then the song suddenly switches in tempo and tone into a kind of weirdly expressing, fun kind of ad-lib thing, where Simon talks jokingly about his career and who he is. And overall, without getting into detail about what the song is, it's a pretty fun time. The song begins as kind of an empty, open, echoey, kind of somber thing, and then during the beat switch, it kind of gets more chaotic and frantic, which is really just absolutely fun. It's such a cool switch up. Simon's lyrics also show up their chops in the exact same way. No complaints there. It winds down in a unique and comedic way. It gives you a perfect window into what you're just about to be experiencing. And I would say I'd give it roughly about a 8 or 10 out of 10. It's good. I like Artificial. Good song. On to the next one. Claustrophobic is more of a dance club, harmonic, banger, semi-hyper-pop thing. And it's pretty good as well. The song features one of Simon's friends who also has pretty good rap chops, might I say. Simon's singing is auto-tuney, but it does lean into the beat pretty well. Simon brings the hook, while Metal Mouth seems to bring most of the substance of the song, and it appears to be something about romantic relationships and how it's claustrophobic when I'm near you, I can't breathe when you're gone, etc, etc. And it's pretty relatable. Unlike Artificial, the song doesn't have any deeper meaning as far as I can tell. And to switch things up, the song does kind of pitch shift and change the beat and the vocals around, which is a pretty cool touch. I kind of do like that, and it does help spice up the song for the 3-minute runtime. Overall, it's a great club banger. I do love keeping it in the background. It's a great song. Allah willed that this would be the first song of Simon Gamer I'd ever discover, and oh man, is it a trip. Mashallah brings back the triumphant energy from Artificial and just runs with it. The hard banging beats and the occasional melodic chip tunes in the song really just bring a sense of I know I'm near the end, I know things are going bad, I really don't feel confident in my future, but I'm gonna take it on the chin, and I'm gonna make it. That is the whole crux of this entire song, lyrics and vocals and instrumentals, and it's really just so indicative of the Simongamer style. I love it so much. There's two different styles to the song. There's the kind of thumping lead into the chorus, and there's just the chorus. It's a really simple song. It's a great kind of banging anthem. And if you're wondering where Mashallah fits into the entire theme of the song, it's part of the hook. He just says, Mashallah, I'll never be a star, and just goes about how, hey, I'll never make it to the top, but at least I'm here, and at least I'm rocking it. And hey, I can with that heavy. You know what I'm saying? Lose It All brings the mood back down, but not in a negative way. Changes gears to a somewhat hopeful, yet worried kind of style of lyricism and emotional vocalism. First half of the song could be interpreted as a friend, a family member, a partner, saying how I could lose it all when you're drowning in the deep. Such an emotional investment to find out what you want. I can see that you're crying, but I'm telling you to stop. Which kind of shows that in this song, Simon wants to be the person that's got your back, or whoever he's referring to. I'm leaning towards it being a partner, but I believe it could be interpreted towards any close person in his life. But then the song kind of transitions to something else which I don't think is explored too much in songs, or if it is, it's seen as corny. Simon talks about his parents and how much he loves them, and honestly, even with how wimpy Simon's vocals are here, it still kind of leaves an emotional impact, which has definitely affected me throughout the times I've listened to this song before. It's really kind of a song that you can bond to. Production overall fits this well with a chiptune kind of aesthetic and a kind of inspirational, somewhat rapping type beat, but Simon mostly takes it harmonic. It's definitely a good song. I recommend it. It can be a bit corny and weak and weird, but it's good. I like it. Greta Thunberg is more of a joke song that takes a pretty fun lyrical and production approach. Simon begins by talking to a fake girlfriend saying, hey, this party sucks. You should just stick with me though. And then he just says, I feel like Greta Thunberg, we could control the weather together. And then he talks about being the weatherman. It's pretty fun. It's honestly really, really catchy, especially with the beat behind it. And then eventually another pillar of the Simongamer aesthetic comes to play where he just says, I want the song to speak for itself, and it definitely does. It's a great and unique approach to music making, and I wish more artists did this kind of thing.
I invest in Pokemon cards.
The song's pretty short, and it's a dual song. It starts with a kind of skit or monologue about Simon buying Pokemon cards and how out of control the collector's market for Pokemon cards has gotten. But I feel as though the part where he says you gotta get in on the pimping, I feel you could interpret that to plenty of mediums, like content creation, for example. They're pimping the genre, they're pimping the method, etc., etc. You gotta get in on the pimping. I feel like that's, even if it's just an off-the-cuff monologue, it's a pretty profound interpretation of entertainment as a medium. And then the song switches to the coronavirus bit. Freestyle is good. The freestyle rap is really good. Trust me. But then one of his lyrics is, dead body No, Simon, I don't like this. No, I know you go off the rails, but no, Simon. It's not a song I'd plug in the aux for, but it's a good interlude and piece of the album, for sure. Assuming you discount the questionable lyrics. Produced by one of Simon's top collaborators, Fresh Too Fresh, and featuring Simon's best friend, T-Brain, who I've talked with before. He's cool. The title Dark Caves is pretty much exactly what you'll get. It's kind of a dark, gritty, boom bap kind of rap, talking about dark caves, effing the system, nobody understands me, etc., etc. It's a pretty good, emotional kind of song. Like most of Simon's other work, it is harmonic, but it doesn't totally lead into the harmonics. It is definitely a rap, hyperpop type track. Simon brings in his usual kind of lyricism and possibly somewhat motivational speaking, and T-Brain brings in somewhat of his metaphorical, philosophical kind of comparisons, which is pretty interesting for the song, and they play off each other pretty well, as they always do. Their album, Choose Team 3 being a good example. Next!
When I die, I'll be smiling.
This is the last song on the album produced by Chipper, and honestly, in my opinion, Simon did kind of ruin this opportunity. This song doesn't really click with me. I get the vibe Simon's trying to go for, a somewhat spoken word, ambient track, and in some ways it does achieve that, but other times it just kind of seems like he's spitballing it way too much and doesn't really have much of a coherent direction in terms of how he wants to make the song totally listenable. Even in terms of humor, the song doesn't really make it for me. It's not unbearably annoying or bad or anything like that. It's just kind of unfocused and weak, in my opinion. And it's kind of one of the low points in the album. Beat is good. It's just Simon's performance wasn't the best on this one. Another short song, and honestly, after listening to it recently, it's actually pretty good. It almost feels like kind of a intro to the next song on the track, which is Dead Dogs. This song is kind of a pretty fun rap song where Simon just puts on some special vocal filters and kind of sings about a bee or something like that. It's pretty unique. It's a pretty cool sound. I like it. I wish it did have some kind of remix or something. It really feels like it could go all the way within a few extra minutes. This song here is, in my opinion, definitely a climax to the entire Circus Tricks album. It's a gloomy kind of introspective song with a heavy beat that definitely, from my perspective, discusses depression and its effects on yourself as a person. And I definitely do relate with this kind of song, especially recently after I've dealt with depression in my life. You don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do anything, nothing feels like something that you can actually do anymore, you don't feel like you've got anything that you can do. It's a hard feeling to explain, but you just feel so helpless in your feelings. The title of the song is the chorus, and what he means by dead dogs lying on the pavement, he wishes he could save them, I'm not quite sure what that could allude to. It could be up to interpretation, of course. I'm guessing it just means things that he's experienced in his life he wish he could have done something different about. And I can definitely relate on that end as well. I'm sure plenty of people could. It definitely contrasts with the other moods of some songs where there is some kind of glimmer of hope or some kind of positive to look on. But I think that's the whole point of this song, to kind of look inward into your feelings and kind of express that in music and to feel it within you and to kind of think back on it. Young Mortal really helps bring that feeling all together by the beat having this kind of ticking clock sound in it as the main percussion, which strikingly just fits. It really fits with the whole theme of what Simon's trying to go for with this song. And of course, the drowning bass and everything like that. It's such a well-crafted song. Seeing as this is just a Simongamer987 video, I won't get too into detail about it. But Simon has different musical personas, and he has described Circus Tricks as an album that is a mix between Simongamer987 and one of his more emotional personas known as Paintbrush, and I can definitely see that in this song. It's kind of like Let It Go if you made it an actual song. It's better put together than Let It Go, but honestly it still doesn't quite fit for me. It still doesn't give me something that I was looking for. It doesn't quite fit as a song. It's just really the kind of weak lyrics. The lyrical performance that Simon is choosing to do here with the vocals is kind of just, it's not my kind of thing. It's too wimpy and kind of, it just doesn't feel like it has an impact. I'll probably have to listen to it more often to get a fully formed opinion though. It does kind of change up throughout the course of it, but for now, I don't really feel it. Last song on the album, it is an improvement from Whatever, but for the first half of the song it does kind of do the same kind of acoustic thing, and then it just moves on to a kind of higher pace, more tense outro for the song. It's pretty good. I just feel it leans too much into Paintbrush for my own personal liking. It's still pretty good. I wish there was a song that could round things off other than Dead Dogs that was kind of a Simon Gamer representation in this album, because it just seemed like the last two songs kind of led into the acoustic, somewhat sad ballad kind of songs. It's a pretty good outro to this kind of album, and it does kind of show what else Simon was trying to do with the album, make it kind of similar to what Paintbrush was, even though it only really kind of showed in the songs that were explicitly just more paintbrushy and how he was doing his vocals. All in all, Circus Tricks is a great and consistent album with a few low points later on in the second half, but it is definitely an album of rap, comedy, soul, harmony, and unique beats that I would definitely recommend to anyone who's looking for a unique experience and can tolerate a bit special humor. You can listen to the songs on Bandcamp before buying them if you want to preview them. And other than that, I guess I'm just gonna tell you, hey, go listen to the songs yourself. Bye-bye.